Good evening, friends. You are most welcome to Think High channel. Today we are discussing the anthropology question and answers. Our question is: what are some of the principles used to categorize relatives in different systems of kinship terminology? Kinship terminologies group together or distinguish relatives according to generation, relative age, lineality, or collaterality. We can say it collaterality, sex, consanguinity or affinity, bifurcation, and sex of the linking relative. Different societies may use all or some of these principles. For example, the US kinship terminology does not distinguish relative age, nor does it distinguish the mothers from the father's side of the family as it done in North India. Next question: what are the six major types of kinship classification systems and what do such systems reveal about a society? The six major systems of kinship classifications are the Hawaiian, Eskimo, Iroquois, 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 Omaha, 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 Crow, Crow, and Sudanese, Sudanese, Sudanese. Because kinship is a principal organizing structure in many societies, and because using different kin terms reflects different behaviors expected towards different types of relatives, understanding kin systems helps anthropologists understand important aspect of social organization and behavior of different societies. Repeated. What are the six major types of kinship classification systems and what do such systems reveal about a society? The six major systems of kinship classifications are Hawaiian, Eskimo, Iroquois, Omaha, Crow, Sudanese. Because kinship is a principal organizing structure in many societies, and because using different kin terms reflects different behaviors expected towards different types of the relatives, understanding kin systems helps anthropologists understand important aspects of social organization and behavior in different societies. Our next question is: what kind of roles does kinship play in immigration and transmigration? Kin relationships have been critical in gaining access to immigration rights in many countries. Kin have also played key roles in helping immigrants successfully adapt to their new homes. But as the social status of immigrants changes, the importance of kin might also change. For example, among Chinese immigrants in the San Francisco area, kinship was historically very important. But among contemporary Chinese professionals, occupational organizations, and other non kin networks play increasing large roles. Our next question: what are some of the major functions of marriage and the family? Three major functions of marriage and the family are regulating sexual access between males and females, arranging for exchange of services between males and females, and assigning responsibility for child care. Our next question: how do the Na of China and other cross cultural examples raise questions about the universality of the marriage? Although marriage and family are grounded in the biological process of reproduction, this is great variety in the forms and functions of family. The Na of China do not traditionally practice marriage, and children remain in their mother's household throughout their life. Groups such as the Na rise in the question of whether marriage is universal and whether procreation is universal functions of the family. Same sex marriages in some African cultures and in the United States raise similar questions. Our next question: what is an incest taboo? What are some theories of why incest taboos are universal? Incest taboos are prohibition on mating between certain groups of relatives. Biological theories of incest argue that inbreeding is deleterious to the species. Psychological theories argue that incest would cause family disruption. Sociological theories argue that the alliances created by the marriage to members of other groups are beneficial to survival. No single theory offers an adequate explanation. Repeated, what is an incest taboo? What are some theories of why incest taboo are universal? Incest taboo. Incest is relationship between the blood groups. Taboo is avoidance. Incest taboo are prohibition on mating between certain groups of relatives. Biological theories of incest argue that inbreeding are deleterious to the species. Inbreeding is deleterious to species. Psychological theories argued that incest would cause family disruption. Sociological theories argue that the alliances created by the marriage to members of other groups are beneficial to survival. No single theory offers an adequate explanation. Our next question is, what is the difference between exogamy and endogamy? How do these rules function in different cultural contexts? Exogamy requires that people marry outside a particular group. This rule is adaptive in forging alliances between families within a society. Endogamy requires marriage within a specified group. Its function may be to keep wealth within the group. Our next question is, what are cross cousin and parallel cousin marriages and what are their effects? Cross cousin marriages unites an individual with a child of their mother's brother or father's sister. These unions reinforce ties between kin groups established in the preceding generations. Parallel cousin marriage unites an individual with a child of their mother's sister or a father's brother. This helps prevent the fragmentation of family property and strengthens solidarity between brothers. Our next question is, what are the levirate and sororate? In levirate, a wife is inherited by her deceased husband's younger brother. In a sororate, a deceased wife is replaced by her younger sister. Both attest to marriage as an alliance between groups and allow the continuation of the marriage contract even if one partner dies. Thank you very much.